Welcome to the Oregon Fly Fishing Blog. I'm Tony Torrence. Today we're going to tie a woolly bugger essentially, but it's a micro sparkle woolly bugger. We've been using a lot of small woolly buggers this summer because we've been doing more trout fishing than normal, and this has been a real producer for us, so give her a try and see what you think. Hey, Tony Torrence here. We've got a 3761 TMC size 8 in the vise. We had a lot of opportunities to lake fish this year, and this is a little micro sparkle bugger that we had some good luck on. So that's what we're going to tie. And the tail, I've got a hackle here that I had dyed and kind of messed up, and it's two-tone brown and olive. So I'm just going to strip off the fluff. These make great tails, just the fluff off of this for these little flies. And that way you don't have to use your marabou. And so I'll just get that tail tied in there. Just try to make sure it's on top of the hook here. That one's pretty thick, so I'm just going to take a few of the fibers and just pop them. That should work. So next I've got some copper wire. This is some brassy UTC in a copper brown. I get that tied in. I'm going to finish covering up my shank here with thread. And then I'm going to make a dubbing loop. Bring my thread to the front. I'll set this dubbing loop off to the side for just a second while I get a couple half hitches or put a little whip finish on the end here. Get this all adjusted here. Okay, so the body is going to be composed of STS trilobal in olive brown, a little pinch of ice dub in olive, and a little pinch of ice dub in olive brown. I've got those pinches all laid here, and I'm just going to stack them on top of one another, and then I'm going to draw them through my fingers to mix these fibers. Again, and I've said this in another video, ice dub is breakable, so mixing it by fingers in small batches is easier to do for me, and it keeps the integrity of the ice dub or the length there. So I'm just going to mix those up. There's my dubbing loop material. I'm going to put a little bit of wax on the thread here, just enough to get everything to stick in place. And then I'm going to lay a little bit of this dubbing in here and spread it out because I want it fairly sparse. But I want it to be able to be picked out a little bit. And then I'll pick it out a little bit with my Velcro. Just give it a little more spin to tighten it up so it'll stay together. One more little picking job here. So I've got my rotary in place, and I'm just going to wrap this material. Makes a pretty buggy body underneath there, and you get the hackle over it and everything's working together. It's a very enticing fly with all the sparkle in there with the ice dub. So I'm just going to tie off I'm going to get a half hitch in place here so that doesn't jump off of there on me. And then I'm just going to work this dubbing out a little bit course, it's going to get pinned down as soon as I put a hackle on it. And the hackle I'm using, you know, when you get a Euro hackle, and if you don't have one and you can get one, I recommend them highly. They've got, you know, the size 8s, 10s, 12s, some 14s in them, and some bigger. But in the center up near the tail, there's also some softer stuff. It's got a little more webbing to it, which is perfect for these little woolly buggers. And the hackle is still stiff. It still has some stiffness to it, so when you strip it, the hackle lays down and then it jumps right back up, and it just great looking in the water. So, oh, come here, you. Get this rotary set up. I don't use it very much, but it works great for doing these. And then I'll just bring that hackle up through there. I don't want it too heavily hackled, but and then I'll bring my wire around, catch that hackle, and then bring that counter right up the body. Okay. Got the wire secured, so I'll break that off. Now you can do the super glue there and just finish off the head, or you can put a little varnish on there. I'm going to do some varnish on this one. So I'm going to trim this back hackle off. And then what I always do is take the brush and run it through there, and it gets the hackle to kind of lay back and picks out a few fibers, kind of gets things started for the fish, as they will tatter this and it'll get buggier and buggier. So there is a crystal micro bugger tied in a size 8. 10s, 12s work great. You can add small glass beads or brass beads if you like, but I like to suspend these on an intermediate line over weed beds and fish them. So there you go. Have a great day.